Hey y'all, Matt here with Bobcat Bonsai, and today we're going to look at this Canadian hemlock that I got. And okay, it went by now. And I got it, came in the mail. I ordered it off a 99-cent Bonsai, came with a nice little pot, super cool and everything. But when I saw it, I was like, this isn't meant to be grown upright at all. Just the way that the whole thing looked, I was like, we're gonna cascade it. So the wire I didn't even take the wire and move it. I just changed the planting angle a little bit, turned it into cascade, and just kind of bent it off to the side a little bit. So today I'm gonna take the wire off. No, I'll show it to you. Then we'll take the wire off. All right, so this is what we've got so far. Not too bad looking at all. Has a lot of excess foliage going on there. Nice little root system. So what I'm going to do now, get that wire off, and then I'll be right back with you. Alright, so we got the wire off now. It's all hanging in here nicely the way that we would want it to. But we have a lot of excess branches that are all laying on top of each other. So we could go about this in a couple different ways. Way number one, we trim off the branches and then apply new wire, which I also wanted to note, it was actually starting to bite in down at the base down in there, so we got that wire off at the right amount of time. But we can either rewire and then cut, or cut and then rewire. For now, I can tell you the whole tree is basically bent in the wrong direction because all the branches are growing down rather than up. So when I did that initial bend, I really screwed that one up, but that's okay because we can fix it. Then I'm thinking, do I want to keep this as like a semi-cascade? What's my plans here? So I want to end up pulling a branch and basically trying to just take and twist a lot of this out and just get more of a semi-cascade look out of it. I don't have any branches growing out of this section at all, nor does it really look like anything's coming anytime soon. It actually looks like they cut off all the branches that were back in that area, so the chance of a semi-cascade is really going to be low. So I think for starters, this one's just too low in here, so I'm going to get rid of that one. I'm going to hang on to this one just in case I decide to change my mind and do something with it, but I'm going to give it a little trim and just take it back just a little bit. The same goes with this one. I will hold on to this one, but I'm going to give it a little trim back. There we go. I'll leave these ones alone. There's a little dead branch right here. Then these ones are growing down, so there's not too much to do with that. I've got a nice little one right here that's growing out, which could be great, but then I have this one in front that's just a little bit bigger that I think I'm going to hold on to. I'm going to get rid of both those bottom ones. This bottom one I believe I'm going to end up pulling up over and onto here. That one will end up coming back, this one will go to there. This one's a little bit bigger than what I want in this area, so we'll get rid of that one. It's either too big or it's too small, or it's too big or it's too small. It's always something. This one's pretty big, so we're gonna come in here and just nip it back a little bit. Then this little guy's directly across from it. So right now, obviously by the different thicknesses and branches coming out, like we've got two real skinny ones and then we've got a thicker one here. The branch structure isn't exactly going to be perfect coming out and through here. It's definitely not going to be able to be the permanent branch structure. But I'm going to come in then on this little one. It's got some nice branching going. Side, 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 and then forward. And all I'm going to do is just take it back a little bit. I'm just going to nip right at the tip. And we'll end up putting some wire on that one. Then I'm going to leave this one because this one kind of runs in the middle. And then I will drop off this one right here. Then I have these two little guys. So I need to decide. I'm going to end up getting rid of this one because I need a branch more on that side. The rest of it I'm going to leave alone for the most part. So I'm not going to be using any fancy copper wire or anything today. I'm going to be using just this black wire. I will get the tree just wrapped in the wire real quick, and then I'll be back with you to bend everything into shape. Alright, so as you can see, after adding some wire, I definitely accidentally bent it in a bunch of wrong angles that I didn't really want. So let's just get back in here and we'll start back at the back here, and we're just going to really crank it back down again. So that's actually getting us down to a pretty good spot that we're looking for. Oh, I'm gonna have to adjust you guys up real quick, so bear with me as we take a ride on the elevator here. All right, that looks like a much better view for you. So just gonna really crank that in there. And I know it shouldn't be touching the side of the pot, but it's right now we're getting a really tight bend in there. So now that we've got that one, I want to continue this along. I'm going to just kind of bring it down just a hair. I'm not too worried about these branches down in here yet, because we are going to end up rotating this as we go. There we go. So we got that one. So where these two big branches are right down here, that's where our next bend is going to begin to come back up. Okay, so now we've got that coming up. I want to pull this one back in this direction just a hair. Keep it coming. And then I'll end up taking this little tip and going down with it. Maybe. There we go. So these two down here, they're too young to do any wiring with. This one's too young to do any wiring. That one, I could, but I'm not going to because I feel like that one's too young also. But now we're going to come in and we'll do most of this wiring from this angle right here. That way we get a good look at it. So this one kind of came in. I need to get this whole thing turned so that the pad is laying a little bit more flat like this. It'll let it get more light in, and it makes it look a lot fuller. This one, that one's kind of in a good angle right now. So we're just going to take that down. Just take it down further. And then we'll bring that bend up from right in. Take it in, and then out. Just give it a little bit of different looks. For that, we're going to leave most of those little branches alone on there because we don't want to mess with that too much. Then I'm going to come in and grab this little guy right here. Which of course the wire moves a little bit, and then I have to come back and retweak it anyway for you guys. But that one we're just going to kick off to the side. There's not much to do with it. Then we're going to come over to this one right here, and that's in a good spot. And that one we're going to just set there. This one I'm actually really happy with just the way it's sitting, so we're going to leave it alone. Maybe I accidentally did it and I wasn't thinking about it when I put the wire on. I don't know. But it's sitting really good, so I'm leaving that one alone. This one right here, we're going to drop it down and then up a little bit. That one we're leaving alone. That was the one we just talked about. This one we'll take down, and then we're going to hook this one kind of to the front. Just a hair. Get some good stuff going there. Then this one, I'm going to pull up from the bottom and then just get a little rotation on. And that's it for that one right there. So, this is going to be our Canadian hemlock. Let's look at it for a second. That just seems very, very straight from this angle. So I think I might even just bend it in. All right, so that adds a little bit more movement, but now let's look here. Because we changed that, now we have to come back and check in here and make sure everything's good. So that one needs a little bit more here. And this one we're just going to bring back a hair. Good. Everything else looks good. Alright, let's do a quick little tour around it. So let me get you down and we'll take a tour around it real quick. So right here is more or less going to be the front. We've got the nice curve going down through it. I actually really like the way this one's coming along. I hope you guys can see why I did this with this hemlock rather than just use it as a formal or informal upright. I feel like this cascade was definitely the way to go with it. I actually kind of like how the needles are spread a little bit wider too, because it gives it more of like a sparsely look to itself. Bloop. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video on my Canadian hemlock and getting it converted into more of a nicer style cascade than where I had it at. If you did enjoy this video, give it a thumbs up. If you enjoy my content, you should subscribe to my channel. And if you really enjoy my content, you should hit the bell notification so you get notified every time I release a new video. Thank you.